job, y'all. That was a big win. Okay? That was a big win. We stacked the deck.
And it was a great team effort to beat DeWanna Bonner in her return to Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Had to feel great for the fans there to see her vanquished and not playing well, and Alyssa Thomas complaining all over the floor. Bonner booed in her return.
That's not just a loss. That's karma working overtime. So what lit the fire under Caitlin Clark and the Fever? And how many different ways did Bonner's revenge tour backfire? Comment instant karma Bonner if you agree. Let's go. The moment DeWanna Bonner stepped onto the Gainbridge Fieldhouse floor, the atmosphere shifted. This wasn't just another game, it was payback night for Fever fans. Ever since Bonner walked out mid-season after cashing Indiana's checks, the city had been waiting for her return. The boos rained down the second she checked in, and they never let up. This wasn't a normal road game, it was a reckoning. Every time
we got to celebrate beating down DeWanna the Scammer Bonner. Cheers, my friend. Cheers, buddy. DeWanna Bonner, I just want to start here. You stink. You stunk it up. You caused all that ruckus. I thought you stopped shooting threes hitting the side of the backboard when you took the Indiana Fever jersey off.
You know what's beautiful about basketball karma? DeWanna Bonner found out the hard way when she stepped back into Indianapolis. After bailing on the Fever mid-season, she probably thought she upgraded to a better situation. But when she returned to Gainbridge Fieldhouse, the universe delivered payback. The Fever smoked the Mercury 107-101 without Caitlin Clark. Bonner booed every touch, held to just 4 points, and forced to watch a replacement, Ari McDonald, torch Phoenix for a career-high 27. To make it even sweeter, her fiancée Alyssa Thomas was caught taunting Fever fans, right before getting humbled by the same team they both dismissed.
Foul on Sophie Cunningham, that is her first team second. Coming in from Martin Phoenix, number 14.
That's not just a loss. That's karma working overtime. So what lit the fire under Caitlin Clark and the Fever? And how many different ways did Bonner's revenge tour backfire? Comment instant karma Bonner if you agree. Let's go. Touch of the ball brought another wave of hostility. When she stepped to the free throw line, chants of "quitter" cut through the arena. The anger was raw, and it was personal. The crowd's reaction was so relentless that even Caitlin Clark couldn't hide her enjoyment.
Bonner battling with Hall. Bonner turns, fades, fires, and leads it way short. Great defense there by Hall. Copper tracks it down and bounces with Bonner, who had her shot blocked. And it's a shot clock violation. Bonner walled off by Hall. And then blocked at the rim. Indiana has that 5-point lead in third.
Sidelined with a groin injury, she sat on the bench soaking in every second of the boos raining down on her former teammate. When Lexi Hull and Natasha Howard stuffed Bonner at the rim, forcing a shot clock violation, Clark exploded off the bench, celebrating like it was a championship moment. That reaction said it all. The unity was undeniable, and Clark's joy was the clearest signal yet of how the locker room truly felt about Bonner's exit. Meanwhile, Alyssa Thomas wasn't just sitting quietly on the sidelines. She was in full villain mode. She spent the game jawing with Fever fans, trading taunts with entire sections of the crowd. At one point, cameras even caught her shouting that Bonner had joined a real team, completely oblivious to the scoreboard that was about to betray her. Thomas thought she was making a power move, defending her fiancé against the boos. Instead, it turned into a masterclass in backfire. Bonner limped through 21 minutes, scoring just 4 points on 1 of 4 shooting and pulling down a single rebound while her so-called real team got dismantled by the very squad she ditched. It was the perfect dose of instant karma. Her performance as pathetic as her exit from Indianapolis had been messy. And the Fever weren't finished. They weren't just winning a game. They were delivering a statement about what happens when you quit on a team that's building something bigger than one player.
Bonner booed in her return, which is to be expected considering the circumstances in which she left. And the players that have come in for the Fever are much better than Bonner was for them. Ari McDonald has been a revelation. She was great in this one again. And Chloe Bibby looks like a perfect fit. So all in all, Fever fans have to feel pretty damn good about that win.
Total dependence on Clark. But someone forgot to give Ari McDonald the memo. McDonald, who wasn't even on the Fever's roster to start the season, seized her moment. The former Arizona star, who averaged double figures across all 93 college games she played, delivered the performance that turned Bonner's departure into a blessing in disguise. She erupted for a career-high 27 points, going a perfect 10-4-10 at the line. She pushed the pace, dished out 4 assists, and played with the kind of urgency Bonner never once showed in a Fever uniform. McDonald's quickness shredded Phoenix's defense, and her fearless... With Caitlin Clark sidelined by a groin injury, the question loomed. Could the Fever hang with a Mercury team sitting third in the WNBA standings? Critics were circling, ready to declare Indiana a one-woman show. This was supposed to be the game that exposed their toothlessness, set the tone. This wasn't just a breakout game. It was proof that Indiana's future isn't defined by who walks out the door, but by who...
When did you realize you had it kind of going tonight, and what kind of opened up for you? It felt like you were scoring kind of from basically everywhere.
When I seen those 2 threes go in, then I saw how easy it was, like getting into the paint. I'm like, okay, I'm converting. All right, I'm good. Like, let's keep being aggressive, or just, keep taking what the defense is giving me.
Proving she belonged on the stage. Sophie Cunningham buried a huge 4-point play on her way to 12 points, while Damiris Dantas came off the bench and matched her with 12 of her own, including a silky dream shake that left Alyssa Thomas complete.
Indiana trailing by 9, trying to pick up the pace here, and Chloe Bibby hits a 3.
Her in transition. Chloe Bibby's done this a million times in her time at Maryland, and in practice.
Embarrassed. The beautiful irony. Both McDonald and BBY were signed with the very cap space Bonner freed up when she quit on the team. The Fever front office flipped her exit into an opportunity.
See Mitchell, she's got the 5 fouls. Boston, Cunningham, yes, and a foul! Sophie Cunningham, give her 3, and she'll go for 4. Dantas battling, spins, fades, fires, and hits. Bibby, corner 3, oh yeah! Cunningham, yes!
Bringing in players who actually wanted to be in Indianapolis. And these weren't just bodies filling garbage time minutes. They were fighters, embodying a brand of team basketball Bonner never seemed to grasp. Possession by possession, Indiana's balanced attack dismantled the Mercury. You could see the frustration etched on Phoenix's faces as the game wore on. This wasn't how it was supposed to go. Without Clark, Indiana was supposed to collapse. Instead, they looked sharper, hungrier, and more connected than ever. It was addition by subtraction, playing out live in front of everyone, and the building could feel it. But the fourth quarter is where one player decided to slam the door shut. Phoenix still thought they had a shot to steal it. What they didn't realize was that Aaliyah Boston was about to unleash a performance that would bury any hope they had left. The fourth quarter began with the outcome still hanging in the balance, but Aaliyah Boston had other plans.
We gotta continue to stack, okay? We ain't got no room for sliding back, okay? We no room for slippage. Every day, there's a sense of urgency, okay? I was proud of you guys, the way it was offensive and defensive substitutions, being ready to go with that. Everybody who came in made an impact. We had 5 in double figures, damn near 7. That's really, really good, y'all. I'm proud of you guys. I'm proud of you. Together, 3, 1, 2, 3, together!
She'd already been steady all night, piling up 22 points and 12 rebounds. But when crunch time arrived, she shifted into another gear. This was the moment that would test whether Indiana could close without Caitlin Clark. Phoenix thought they had a window to steal it on the road. What they didn't realize was that Boston was about to slam that window shut. She completely took over, torching the Mercury for 17 points in the fourth quarter alone. At one point, she rattled off a personal 10-0 run, single-handedly crushing any hope Phoenix had left. Every basket Boston scored felt like a statement. This wasn't just about closing out a win. It was about proving the Fever had grown a championship mindset that extended far beyond their superstar. Boston.
So too has Harry McDonald, who did not start the season with the fever, but has really come on strong. Pass inside, it's a bullet. Some more contact there underneath. Hull hits the ground. Austin has a size advantage here. Wants the clear out, gets the clear out, gets inside, and pushes it home.
Boston dominated the paint with authority, living at the free throw line and knocking down 10 of 13 from the stripe. She drew fouls at will, absorbed contact, and punished the Mercury for every defensive lapse. Boston's dominance in the paint was suffocating. As the quarter wore on, Mercury players grew frustrated and desperate, with no answer for her post moves, polished footwork, or shot creation. The South Carolina
Both teams have now erased double-digit deficits. 9:30 to decide a winner. Howard inside, Boston, deep position.
Wow.
Dangerous pass there by McDonald, rescued by Howard. Howard trots inside, left hand off the mark. Boston pulls it down and lays it in. McDonald has just had that look in her eyes here tonight, but it's Boston taking over in the fourth.
No answer.
product was putting every tool on display, reminding everyone why she went #1 overall in the 2023 draft. This performance marked her 4th straight double-double, a career-best streak that signaled her evolution from promising rookie to undeniable franchise cornerstone. Boston wasn't just piling up stats, she was seizing control in the biggest moments. The numbers were impressive, but the timing was even better. The crowd erupted with every Boston bucket. Gainbridge Fieldhouse felt like a playoff arena. Fans on their feet, noise swelling louder with each score. The energy was electric, fueling the fever as Boston's fourth-quarter takeover sealed a 107-101 win. It was
Nate Tibbetts.
Only 15 three-point attempts and 6 makes for Phoenix from outside the line.
Boston step through, lays it in. You can't stop her.
Powers in the paint.
We're still playing without Kelsey Mitchell. She's got the 5 fouls. Boston, Cunningham. Yes! And a foul! Sophie Cunningham!
proof, beyond any doubt, that Indiana could close out big games without their superstar on the floor. Boston put the team on her back, carrying them past a playoff contender with the kind of dominant, timely performance championship teams demand from their stars. But the real fireworks came after the final buzzer. The drama spilled into the post-game press conferences, where the microphones revealed more than the box score ever could. The contrast between organizations was immediate. Mercury star Kalia Copper took the mic and went straight into defense mode, blasting Fever fans as very distasteful for booing Bonner on her return. "I just don't understand," Copper said. "She's a legend. All the things she's done for the league, the disrespect, I just can't get down with it." Her frustration was clear, but so was the disconnect. The comments came off as tone-deaf, ignoring the simple truth. Bonner wasn't booed for her resume. She was booed because she abandoned Indiana mid-season, right when they needed her most. The Fever's response was pure professionalism. Head coach Stephanie White addressed the Bonner situation with grace, keeping the focus on her team's performance instead of feeding into the drama. She acknowledged the obvious awkwardness but never disrespected her former player, striking the perfect balance. It was a textbook example of how a coach should handle moments like this, with composure, respect, and an unwavering commitment to her team. Aaliyah Boston's response was even better. Asked about the Bonner drama, she kept it short and simple.
I think she handled it well. I don't understand, like, she's a legend, and just all the things that she's done for the league, and just the disrespect, I can't get down with it. They booed her. She didn't say a word to the crowd. People talk some trash to her, but we had her back. But it's just very distasteful for what their fan base is doing, as far as when it comes to DB, because it's like she's just the sweetest soul, and the situation didn't work for her, and that's just not what she wanted or whatever. But it's just, we don't need all of that. It's just unnecessary.
Honestly, that's got nothing to do with me. Her focus was squarely on the team's performance and securing the win, not the outside noise. It was a response that showed the maturity of a true leader. Boston understands what championship teams do. block out distractions, and lock in on what matters most. Their mature...
You talked a little bit about being happy for DeWanna Bonner, finding a good spot for her. What was your overall thoughts on having her there in the reception tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know anything about the reception. I don't hear anything once I'm out on the floor, but it's weird seeing her on the other side. But at the end of the day, basketball is basketball and relationships are relationships.
Responses made Kappas. Complaints look petty and highlighted the massive difference in organizational culture. The Fever handled adversity with class, while the Mercury players were whining about fan reactions. You could see which organization was building something sustainable and which one was making excuses. Meanwhile, the number...
What was it like having DeWanna Bonner return to Indiana, and what were your thoughts on the fan reception tonight?
Honestly, that got nothing to do with me. I think DB returned because we were playing Phoenix, and so that happened to be that. The fans chose to do what they wanted to do, but for us it's about paying attention to what we have to do here, and that was coming in and getting a big win, which we were able to do.
Told the real story that nobody could argue with. This was the Fever's third straight win. That's the last year Indiana won a playoff game. This victory pushed them to 15 wins and 12 losses. Good for 6th place in the WNBA standings. They were setting up a promising finish to the season that nobody saw coming at the start of the year. The Fever proved they weren't just Caitlin Clark's supporting cast. They were a legitimate team with championship aspirations and the depth to compete. Without their superstar, this win was about more than basketball. It was about justice, karma, and the power of team chemistry over individual talent. Sometimes the universe has a funny way of working things out. This wasn't just a basketball game. It was a masterclass in how karma works in professional sports. Dana Bonner walked into